Welcome to John Mason Coaching. The Law of Success, Lesson 4, The Habit of Saving, my review of Napoleon Hill's book, The Law of Success in 16 Lessons. In order to understand the habit of saving, you must first understand the law of habit, what Napoleon Hill called the law of habit. He said that any act indulged in a repetitive way a few times eventually becomes a habit. The mind and personality accumulate those habits, and eventually it becomes like an automatic program. The same habit and programs that are created to help us can also create the very walls of limitation against which we struggle to move from low income to better income to excellent income. He said you could think of it as like a financial thermostat that keeps you stuck in a particular income bracket, whether it's poverty or middle class or whatever. The good news is, just like a thermostat on the wall, that thermostat can be adjusted by harnessing the law of habit. However, it's important to make sure that you understand this law correctly. The law of habit starts with being crystal clear about your definite chief aim. That's the place where a good habit can begin to develop. Once you're clear about that, and you apply the law of habit, and you keep your aim always in your mind, the process can naturally result in an increase of income. So now, as you take the law of habit and apply that law to saving money, and you base your savings on a rate or a percentage of your income, then your savings will begin to accumulate at the same rate that your income is. The law of habit can work both for you and against you. It depends on what you prioritize foremost in your mind. If you prioritize your definite chief aim in your mind and saving money, that's what will happen. If you prioritize spending money in order to make yourself feel good, your money will leave your possession. One of the problems that Mr. Hill points out that gets in the way of prosperity is the slavery of debt. Poverty alone is bad enough, yet it's not always enough to crush a person's dream in life. However, if you add in too much debt, then it can crush a person's dream and make it almost impossible to pull out of poverty. He discriminates between two different types of debt. One is depreciating debt, where when you buy cars or playthings like four-wheelers and boats, those are depreciating debts. They cost you money, and you don't really get a whole lot back out of it. Another type of debt, which some people might call good debt, is when you invest in real estate or stocks, bonds, some kind of an investment that appreciates in value. That becomes a good kind of debt because what you get back out of it is more than what you might pay in interest. So he proposes a couple of steps to master the fear of poverty, and one is to stop buying on credit, especially credit that's against bad debt. Number two, learn to live without the depreciating expenses. It might be tough at first, but it can be done. So all of this is about saving, and how much should you save? Of course, in his book he proposes maybe a certain percentage. It really doesn't matter, 3 to 5% of your earnings, but at least as long as you're consistently putting it into your savings or into some form of an investment. In one program I was in a few years ago, they talked about a process called 10-10-80. 10% of your earnings goes to the church, and if you're a person who follows God, you know that God will bless you for giving to the church, giving to the poor. Another 10% goes into your savings that you can use for either saving against the time for an urgent need or to invest, but you don't live on that. It's a principle, or like a seed that you sow, and then you live your regular life on the 80%. If you follow this process consistently over time, then you will gradually work your way out of debt and save more, and that will create a feedback loop that will help support your focus on your definite chief aim and minimize any tendency to focus on the fear of poverty. Ask yourself some of these important questions. What income bracket are you stuck in now? What habit needs to change first for you to become free from that income bracket? What is your definite chief aim? How much are you going to be putting away into savings on a regular basis, whether it's a percentage or a fixed amount? When will you discontinue the accumulation of bad debt? Think about those questions, mull them over, see what happens when you begin to apply the habit of savings and how it begins to change your life. I would love for you to let me know how it goes for you. My name is John Mason. This has been The Law of Success, Lesson 4, The Habit of Saving, my review. If you found this video helpful in any way, would you look down below and subscribe to my channel? Hit the like button, that will help me out with YouTube, and you might also hit that bell icon and so that you can be informed of any of videos that I create when I create them. Here's to your success.